Hi, everyone. Good evening. Happy Thursday. I can't believe we are already at Thursday of Visioning Week. Thank you so much to everyone who has been a part of Visioning Week. Maybe you've been here since the very beginning. Maybe you've been here multiple years. Maybe this is your very first night. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I know when I was driving home yesterday after our amazing night with Aditi and Whaley and hearing about how these amazing people have applied visioning to their life, I just had such a sense of like just thank you all so much for allowing me the space to create this for all of us and to help you get to meet your future self from 10 years from now, from 3 years from now. Tonight, we're really going to bring this home concretely and become your future self a year from now. And I was just filled with so much happiness and so much joy, and I just love getting the messages from you all about what's happening for you and what's opening for you. And I'm excited to be here tonight because tonight is really where we take those expansive aspirational visions and we bring clarity and conviction and commitment. And this is really where the rubber meets the road. There's something really magical about a 1-year vision. It's very tangible, it's very knowable, it's very containable. It feels very possible for most of us. And so I'm very excited about what we can create tonight. I think of tonight as the first step in our bridge between vision and reality. So everything we've done in Visioning Week has been very expansive. We started on our first night with our reflection of 2025, harvesting all of the goodness, reminding ourselves of all of the joy that life has to offer us in the normal days, in the normal weeks, in the amazing places that we get to travel, the meals we get to have, the friends we get to have. Also harvesting the wisdom from 2025. Inevitably, every single person in this room had some sort of challenge in 2025. Maybe it was a big one, maybe it was a small one, but we get wisdom every single year and it forges our character and it makes us more prepared to go into the future versions of ourselves. On Tuesday, we were really expansive. We connected with the 10-year and the 3-year future selves. We met them. We met them face to face. We got to look into their eyes. We got to listen to them, to love them, to receive their love, to receive their wisdom, and all of the expansion and abundance that comes from that. Yesterday, we were joined by Aditi and Whaley. That was such a heart-filling, cup-filling session. I know I went home just so elated hearing from them and knowing that what's possible for one is possible for all of us. And as humans, we are such social creatures. Even if we feel like an introvert, we're social creatures at our core. And we learn so much from being in relationship with others and seeing what others create, because it opens up in our mind the possibility that that could be true for us as well. And I loved hearing from those two women because in many ways their lives are very similar, but in many ways their lives are very, very different. And it's a great way for us to see that whatever is coming up for you in visioning, that's what's meant for you. Visioning is not prescriptive. Visioning is not one size fits all. Visioning is you came into this week with all of the goodness of your life, all of the years of your wisdom, all of your lived experience, everything that you brought in your whole personality, your whole identity, magnifying that, connecting to that, saying, who do I really want to be? What do I really want to do? What experiences do I really want to have with this one amazing life? And it's different for all of us. And that's what makes visioning so very beautiful. It's what makes the work so rewarding. And I'm excited to see those things tonight become very concrete with our 1-year vision and our quarterly planning. We are on approximately page 27 of our workbook. So by now you should have the workbook. It's in the emails that you've received. We've put it into our Facebook community. I'm sure the team will pop it into the Zoom chat here in case you do need to have the digital copy of that. And we are on 27. This is day 4 of our workbook where we talk about our 1-year planning and our quarterly planning. On 27, there's a couple of questions there for you to reflect on, and I'm going to invite you to not reflect on those right now. You can do those after the workshop, sometime this weekend. You can kind of think of that as like a little bonus exercise. We have so much to cover with our guided visualizations tonight. I want to make sure we have plenty of expansive space and time for those. But those 3 questions there on 27 are some things that you can reflect on yourself. And then on 28, there's this quote that I want to call into tonight as kind of a centering, grounded quote for the work we're going to do tonight. Habits flow from identity. Identity flows from vision. Vision flows from awareness. Tonight is about awareness. Tonight is about really concretely, with clarity, with conviction, with commitment, seeing who you want to be in December of 2026, what you want to have accomplished, what you want to have experienced, making it as absolutely real as possible, putting as many details and imagery and vividness around that, getting some really quick momentum by planning Q1 of 2026 and then moving forward with that. And what I find in the visioning workshops is after tonight, people feel this sense of momentum, for lack of a better word, this sense of they're ready to go. And you may have heard me say in this week, part of the reason we do visioning workshops right before Thanksgiving is if we do it in January, we've already lost a lot of momentum. We've lost a lot of the year. Our minds kind of trick us into thinking we're behind, which isn't actually true, but our minds give us all sorts of gremlins. If we do it in the midst of the holiday seasons, it can feel really chaotic. It can feel like we don't have the time or the space in our calendar to create it. But when we do it a little bit before Thanksgiving, in this kind of quieter week in November, what I have found in my own life and in the lives of so many others is it's almost as though you get to like double dip on these last weeks of the year, because you'll have this energy and this excitement to complete what you want for 2025, but then you will be so excited and so committed to 2026 that you will inevitably start chipping away or maybe even fully accomplishing what you're writing down tonight for Q1 of 2026. I promise you, you'll have some of it done by the end of December 2025. And I'm just so excited about us getting that forward energy and that momentum together. If you're new here tonight, welcome, welcome. Many of you know me and have been in my world for a while, and if so, welcome to my dear and old friends. I just want to take just a minute to introduce myself if you're new this evening. I'm Dr. Elaine Stageberg. I'm a wife of 15 years. I have 5 children, ages 10, 8, 5, 3, and 1. I'm a psychiatrist by training. I trained at the Mayo Clinic. I'm a real estate investor. My husband and I started with just one single family home right when we first got married. And today we own and operate Black Swan Real Estate, which has about $450 million in assets under management. During the day, I help run that company. I help run our property management company, Black Swan Living. I have the really good fortune of leading multiple 7- and even 8-figure businesses. And then I also created Freedom and Legacy Blueprint MD, which is a container and a coaching and a community for physicians and other high performance individuals where we bring together all of those aspects of human development and real estate investing and financial freedom and time freedom and entrepreneurship and communication and connecting with identity. And we bring that together into a really amazing space. That's really the joy of my life. Since creating that, I feel like it has really brought out the unique gifts that I feel like I have been blessed with and has allowed me to share it with so many people. And this visioning week that we do every year is really the foundation of that. So many of the people that are in the room this evening are longtime members of Freedom and Legacy. We're meeting week in and week out for our coaching calls. And they're here because they know that Visioning Week sets the foundation for the whole year. And if you're new, maybe you just heard about us, or you've maybe known me through Black Swan Real Estate.
Speak loudly because
you're finally thinking like, what is this Visioning Week thing? What is this all about? Or maybe a friend invited you. This is the week that sets the stage for you for not just the year to come, but for the years to come. Because visioning is really about connecting to our identity, who we really know we are, not because our parents told us, or our religion, or our culture, or our career, or our coworkers, or our neighbor, not because of any of that, but because of who we really know we are when we connect with our future selves and ask for their wisdom of what it is do we really want out of this life. So welcome to everyone, the newest person in the room and the person that's been here the longest. I'm excited that we get to have this space to create this together. I'd love it if you would introduce yourself in the chat. As I said last night, maybe you're starting to recognize some names or some faces. There's so much value in the community that we're creating here together. Tell us your name, where you're from, what you've learned from Visioning Week. Maybe share a pearl that you heard last night from Aditi or Whaley. Share what's coming up for you in your 10-year or your 3-year vision. And let's just start to get that swirl of energy, right? It's like that warm-up period where we start to declare to the world, this is who I am and this is what I'm about. And we see from others what they're about, and we know that we're in a safe and supportive place tonight. So I'd love to see those introductions in the chat here. Yemi introduced herself from Maryland. She's been in Freedom and Legacy. She's a wonderful member of Freedom and Legacy. Awesome. Excited to see you guys all this evening. Let's talk about the psychology of a 1-year vision and why, out of all of the time frames, a 1-year vision is different than the other visions, the 3-year, the 10-year, and other visioning workshops. I've even done a 25-year vision inside of Freedom and Legacy. I've done not just an end of life vision, but an end of life vision where you can only comment on how people feel about you. You can't comment on what your career was or what awards, or even if you had the most amazing charitable giving, you can't comment on any type of achievement. You can only comment on how people felt because of your presence in their life. So there's all types of visions that are out there. A 1-year vision is a special type of vision. When we think about something on the order of 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, there's a lot of dreaming in those types of visions. And don't get me wrong, I love those types of visions. They have really special roles in our lives. A 1-year vision is an action vision. Write that down, like jot that down in your notes. A 1-year vision is an action vision. A 1-year vision is where you really start to conceptualize and commit to change, where you start to put some action items associated with it. You start to create a task list. You start to think about, who do I need to call into my life to help me with this? You start to think about, what are the potential obstacles that could come my way, and how can I create a plan to overcome them before they ever even happen? It's far enough, it's big enough for expansion and possibility and very significant change. If there's a part of your life that you feel really convicted, you want a substantial amount of change, maybe it's your health or your wealth or a relationship or how you're spending your time. But it's also close enough that every quarter matters, every month matters, every week matters. Even the decisions that you commit to tonight really make a change in a 1-year vision. So it's this really nice hybrid where we take the expansive dreaming and we bring it into action, conviction, commitment, and clarity. Those are the 3 C words for tonight: clarity, conviction, and commitment. That's really what separates a 1-year vision from all of the other types of visions. And as a psychiatrist, I know that this is rooted in the neurobiology of how we operate as humans. In a 1-year time period, we can have substantial identity change. Maybe right now, maybe you feel like your identity is, let's take health, for example. Maybe you feel kind of low energy, you don't have the strength or the stamina that you did maybe when you were younger, or what you know you're capable of. And maybe you're struggling with identity in that area. And in a year from now, you can have a completely different identity. You can not only have, biological changes in your health and your fitness and your markers like blood pressure and HRV and sleep and those sorts of things, but in your identity, you can think like, I am a strong person. I am a capable person. I am a person who goes to the gym. I am a person who runs 5Ks. And that happens because we have neuroplasticity. And we're at all times, even as adult learners, we're creating new neural pathways. We're learning and we're connecting old patterns to new patterns, and we're shedding patterns that we no longer reinforce. Over a year's time, that really solidifies. The neurons really connect to each other. You have plenty of opportunity to kind of test out some of the old identity and have opportunities to say, no, I don't ascribe to that anymore. I am now this person. And you let those old neural pathways atrophy and die away, which is what we want. And you allow the new neural pathways to take over and to become your identity. And that process can take about a year. Some of it can happen pretty quickly, but neuroplasticity can take a little while to really solidify, especially in the adult mind. And so that 1 year period is rooted not just in the psychology of growth and goals, but truly in the biology of who we are as humans and how we learn as adults. And all of that requires structure and support. When we go through identity change, when we go through that conviction and commitment to our goals, it requires structure and support to help get us from point A to point B, because the thing that is the most, like the strongest force in human development is our current identity. We will do all sorts of things to affirm our current identity, even if we know that our current identity is not actually serving us. Sorry, I have a little cough this week, and so I have to sometimes clear my throat. So thank you for your patience with that. When our mind says to us, I want to affirm my existing identity, even if we know it doesn't serve us, even if consciously we want to let it go, we have opportunities then to say, no, I want to do it differently. I am a person who is strong. I am a person who has a really loving marriage. I am a person who is financially independent, whatever those things are that we want to claim in our identity. And when we have structure and support to help us through that neural pathway change, it makes it so much more likely that we're able to make that happen. A component of that structure and that support is your relationship with your future self. Most of what we're going to do this evening is our 1 year guided visualization. And then we're really going to hit it home with quarterly planning for Q1 so that we immediately take all of that energy that we're going to generate in our 1 year guided visualization and immediately turn it into momentum. So go ahead and pull out page 29 and 30 of your workbook. Like nights past, have that available, have a pen available, but just set it aside for now. We're not going to do the journaling piece first. We're going to drop into the guided visualization. We'll first do eyes closed, and then I'll cue you to open your eyes, and then we'll continue with the visualization. And that's when you'll start journaling and you'll start writing out whatever comes for you. It can be full sentences, it can be bullet points. You can draw pictures if you're an artistic or a visual person. It's a little bit different for everyone. There's no wrong way to do it. But really remember, visualization is about embodying the emotion of what it is that you want to create, really making it as real and sensory as possible, like you're seeing a picture or you're seeing a little snippet or you're seeing a movie. And even if you can't actually see something with your visual system, many people cannot, and that's totally okay. That doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong with visualization. For many people, it's more of a sense of feeling or intuition, or like a story is being told. So you don't necessarily always have a visual component to it, even though it is called visualization. It's really about kind of creating the story and the imagery and the emotion in your body. We always want to go into our visualizations in the best state possible. So go ahead and shake yourself out. We often carry a lot of tension in our face and our jaw. So start to release that, make a big ah sound, release any energy, shake your shoulders out, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders a couple of times, get yourself into a nice, comfortable seated position. If you're driving or that sort of thing, just listen in, stay eyes open, stay present with what you need to do, and trust that you'll be taking this into your subconscious. And we're going to release the replay, and you can do it again when you are able to go into the closed eye process. But if you're in a place where you're able to join us with closed eye, go ahead and get that started now. Take a couple of deep cleansing breaths and just settle into your body, settle into the presence of this moment. And in this 1 year visualization, instead of us meeting our future self the way we did with our 10-year and our 3-year visualization, you are going to become your future self. You are going to step into the identity and the body and the story and the emotions of your future self. So feel yourself moving through time. We're going to do a little time travel tonight. And it is now December of 2026, about a year away. Feel yourself stepping into his or her body, fully taking on that identity, fully taking on everything that you are and that you have today, and all of your goodness and all of your greatness, magnified. You're you plus more wisdom, more opportunities, more experience, more joy, more love, more abundance, more expansion. And let yourself answer this question. Who are you? Who are you? What does the world look like through these eyes? What do you see? December 2026, you in your body, through your eyes. What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? What are you proud of? What are you so eager to come back and tell the 2025 version of you? We did it. It happened. Here it is. Look. What are you so proud of? Childlike wonder. What did you finally do? We're going to go through a day in the life of the you, December 2026. You're waking up. Where do you see yourself? What does your bedroom look like? What does it feel like? What's the first thought you think when your eyes open for the day? How much energy do you have? How good does it feel to be in your body? Is there anyone there in the room with you? What does that feel like? Is there anyone there in the home with you? Who are those people? How does it feel when you greet them for the day? How are they doing in December of 26? As we go through just this usual day, do you have a morning routine? How are you centering yourself, grounding yourself? How are you spending that first precious hour of the day, setting the stage for the rest of your time? Do you have a meditation practice or a prayer practice or exercise or reading, all of them together? What are you wearing? How do you carry yourself? What does your body feel like? Be really specific. Where are you going? Are you working for an income? Where? What are you doing? What time do you get there? Who's there? What work are you doing? How does it feel? Do you feel connected to that work? Do you feel like this is your gift to the universe, that you're living out your destiny? A beautiful question that we bring up in every visualization is, what aren't you doing? In this normal day in December 2026, this version of you, what are you no longer doing? Maybe it's something tangible on your calendar, an appointment, a job, a commitment. Maybe it's more of a way of thinking. You're no longer second guessing yourself. You're no longer people pleasing. You're no longer shrinking. But what isn't taking up your time? This version of you from 2026 is almost like stunned. Like, we used to do that? That's so weird. wow. You know, when you have that feeling when things have changed so much, you almost can't believe it. Feel yourself in your future body kind of stunned, like, I can't believe we used to do that. No way. I would never do that anymore. That's not who I am. I let that go. I was gone by January, or I made a concrete plan to get rid of it when the time was right. How are you spending your leisurely time? What are you creating? Who are you with? How does it feel? Do you feel like you're in control of time? Do you feel like you have more time than you realized you could? You feel healthy and vital and energized and in flow, and you know exactly who you are and where you're going and what you're doing. From that place, how much can you get done in any normal day? How are your relationships? Think of the 2 or 3 most important people to you. How do you relate to them? What's your communication like? How do you feel when you look at them? How do they feel when they look at you? And then expand that circle a little bigger. Your friends, your colleagues, your in-laws, your extended family, your neighbors, your community. How do you show up in the world? Who's there supporting you, cheerleading you, guiding you, loving you? It's always good when we are with our future selves to look at our checkbook, to look at our balance sheet. How much did you earn in 2026? Whatever number just came to your mind, make it bigger. Make it bigger. Trust your future self. Believe in your future self. Listen to his or her wisdom. What's your net worth? How did it change between now and then? Did you pay down some debt? Did you do some strategic investing? A little bit of both? How are you sharing your wealth? What's important to you that you gave? You gave until it hurt, but it felt so good because you know you have something to offer the universe. Wealth isn't always what we keep, it's often what we give away too. And then connect deeply with this future self and feel it, because you are embodied in this version of yourself, and feel your purpose. Just let it flow to you naturally right now. What is your purpose? Hear it, believe it. It doesn't have to be the purpose of your life. I don't believe that. What's your purpose for the next year? We're human beings. We're so expansive. We have so much. We have more than one purpose. What's your purpose for this next year? How did you live that between now and then? Let your future self tell you and show you and give you the emotion of what it felt like to understand your purpose and to guide yourself more into that area of your life. And then let's go through the year. You now feel really embodied in your future self. You've gone through a day, you've gone through the 8 domains in life. And this is where you might feel a bit of that like movie experience, or like you're looking through a photo album. What are you creating throughout the whole year? Where do you want to go? Is there a special place in the world you've never been, or a place you love and you can't wait to go back? Is this the year you buy a vacation home? Who are you with? Is there a particular accomplishment that you're working toward in 26 and you see yourself doing it, completing it? It is done. It is done. What is it? What's done? Accept it as though it's real, as though it has already happened, because it has in this version of you. We're not living in today. We're living in December of 26 right now. Go through the months: January, February, March, April, When's your birthday? May, June, anniversaries, special milestone days, July, holidays, August, September. What's the changing of the seasons like for you in 26? October, November, December. For some of us, there might be an anniversary in 26, maybe a first anniversary, maybe of something that wasn't so joyful in 25. And yet we see ourselves on that day steady and present, and maybe still feeling some pain. We're human. We don't have to deny our emotion, but maybe we feel a little more wisdom. We feel a little more empowered. Maybe we're celebrating a first anniversary of something amazing, a marriage, a job transition, a baby, an anniversary of some type. Feel all of that. And just like we did before we opened our eyes in our prior visualizations, really try to build up that energy in yourself. Try to look at it as though with the intensity and the clarity that this is your one chance to look at it. It's not true, but if we kind of fool ourselves into believing that, we look a little sharper, right? It's like you're peeking over someone's shoulder and you know you have 2 seconds to do it, and you want to look as wide-eyed as possible and soak it all in. Take it in, take it in, take it in. Take in the day, take in the months, take in the seasons, take in the year, take in the big accomplishments, take in the numbers, take in the day-to-day feelings, take in your identity, the emotions you're living. Take it all in. Feel the energy building up, almost as though it's like swirling in your chest and in your torso and in your body. It's like a little tornado is starting in you. And you're like, Elaine, I need to open my eyes and write because this tornado is kind of taking over. And feel that. And then go ahead and open your eyes, grab your pen, 29 and 30 in the workbook. If you don't have a workbook, it doesn't matter. Just grab a blank piece of paper, open a Google Doc, whatever it is, and just start letting this pour out of you. Get it out as quickly as you can while you're still in this kind of dream-like guided state. Like you're waking up from a dream and you need to tell someone about it as quickly as possible before the dream slips out of your head. And capture it. Capture it in the 8 domains in life. Capture who you are, capture your identity statements. What became inevitable for you because you said yes to something tonight? What became inevitable for you because you said yes to something tonight? Just let that flow through you. Write it down. And if it feels like maybe for some of you there isn't much flowing through, just write down whatever is coming up, or just gently close your eyes and keep in that energetic state and trust that it will show up for you when the time is right. Write down how you feel. Make sure as you're going through your 8 domains, you're including some emotion words. Left brain is accomplishments, timelines, checklists, executive functioning. Right brain is heart, intuition, emotion. What are you feeling in December of 26? We'll give a couple minutes for just a quiet reflection for your journaling. If you're experiencing a sense of flow, just allow whatever is coming through your hand to happen, even if it's sloppy, bullet points, doesn't matter. If maybe you're feeling any stuckness, you can go to a different domain in life and see if something comes up for you in one of those domains. We've got these 8 pretty different aspects of our life and our personality. You can explore different parts of it and see if you get a little more flow in one area versus the other, and then you can build on that flow and go to the other areas. I was telling my team either yesterday or today, I can't remember, that one of the benefits when I facilitate in person is I can kind of go and look over people's shoulders and see what they're writing, and I get so much joy, and it's so exciting for me to see what's coming up, and I don't get that on Zoom. So if you want to share in chat, I'd love to see it. Others would love to see it, but I just love seeing those of you with your cameras on, and it's clear that you're engaged with yourself and you're giving yourself the gift of presence. And that is the most beautiful gift we can ever give our own selves or any other human, is the gift of presence. I just love to see it. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing your beautiful vision in the chat. I love it. I too love Utah. It's my favorite state. We'll give another 60 seconds. We'll do another 90 seconds. Mm. One thing I'll offer to you that might be coming up for many of us, this is a very common limiting belief that many of us have, is as we're feeling the expansion of everything that we want and all of the different domains in our life in this next year's time, we might be feeling like, well, I need more time. How am I going to make this all happen? Maybe I already feel a little stretched then. How could I possibly have this expansion? How could I commit to this next level if I already feel crunched for time? And I'll offer to you that more time is not magically coming. No one has cracked that code yet to have more than 24 hours in a day or 365 days in the year. But your future self shows up when you decide and you commit to your future self. Both Whaley and Aditi said various things yesterday, that when they wiped away the fog and they were able to see clearly and they knew exactly where they were going, that it felt flow and ease and abundance, and things came a little bit easier. So you heard from those two in real life people's lives how when we have a commitment to our future selves, our relationship with time is a little bit different. When you decide to commit to your future self, he or she appears, and he or she helps you with resources and connections and time and decision making and abundance, and it's just kind of right there at the right time, guiding the path and leading the way. And the 1 year is that sweet spot, like we talked about at the beginning of our time together. It's long enough for expansion and possibility, but then also close enough that the actions that you take really matter. Every quarter matters, every month matters, every week matters. And that you just felt, that energy that you just felt, that's the future version of you. And I love seeing with your heads down, and I can tell that you're writing quickly, and I can tell that you're in the moment with yourself. And I'm excited about what you're creating. And I know that you are too, because you're sharing it with me, you're texting me, you're putting it in the Facebook group, putting it in the WhatsApp group. This version of you exists. It exists in December 2026. You have created this version of you in your mind. And just like everything we have around us, our phones, our computers, windows, drywall, everything we have around us was first created in the mind and then created in reality. Because you created this version of you in the mind, you can create it in reality. That version of you, that person, is the person I coach all year long inside of Freedom and Legacy Blueprint. That's the work that we do. We create a container and a community and a support structure to bring that vision into reality. One of the things that we do in Freedom and Legacy is we have a whole session that's called Visioning to Reality, and we have quarterly alignment calls where we take the vision out and we connect with it again to say, what am I creating? Where am I stuck? Where am I in flow? What resources do I need? We don't need more information. As high-performing adults, we have the information. We know what we need to do. We need integration and communication and coaching and community and accountability and structure and reflection. And more than anything, we need nervous system regulation. That's something I learned as a psychiatrist that I carry into my own daily life, the way I show up in my relationships with my children, and something that we work on every single week in Freedom and Legacy Blueprint, so that you have someone, a coach, a community, and your own self who's holding you to this highest version of yourself at all times. This version of you that you created right now, that you're in deep connection with, you're in deep relationship with this future version of yourself. You need someone holding you to that and helping you with the creation of that from vision to reality. That's what we do inside of Freedom and Legacy. That's why Freedom and Legacy exists. It exists so that 12 months from now, when you look back on tonight, you don't say, I wrote those things down, I felt them, and then life happened, and I got caught up in the chaos of life, and here we are, and I can't believe another year has passed. And instead, you say, I wrote that down, and then I became that person. You've heard that from so many members in Freedom and Legacy. You heard that firsthand in the stories with Whaley and Aditi last night. Enrollment is open for Freedom and Legacy. This is the first time we've opened in a year. We've already had some amazing new members join. Just in the screen that I can see here, Annette has joined us, Kara renewed, Andrea renewed. I know I saw her face a little earlier. Lots of people have joined us. Excited to welcome you in if you're feeling that pull in your heart and you're feeling like that's the next step for you. If you're feeling that, I ask you to trust that and to lean into that. Let's take this energy that we've built tonight and go from our 1-year vision to our next 90 days, just 12 weeks, 1 quarter. Very, very, very actionable. This is on pages 31 and 32. Every extraordinary year is built in extraordinary quarters. I really believe that even breaking it further down into monthly planning, the more granular we can make it, the more committed to the vision we can become, and we keep attuning to it, right? It's just like we're a pilot. We keep coming back to the flight path, back to the flight path, back to the flight path. When we learn to think in quarterly planning, we're always reconnecting with the vision. Inside of Freedom and Legacy, we call them vision alignment calls. We create the vision here in Visioning Week. This is the real work that builds the foundation for Freedom and Legacy. And then we have vision alignment calls each quarter. And we're going to start that right now. You're going to get a running head start. The pages 31 and 32 are called momentum for a reason. You're going to get a running head start into Q1 of 2026. We'll do a closed eye process. If you were really vibing the 1-year vision, you may find that you just kind of dip right back into it and things really start flowing for you. If maybe you were feeling a little stuck or a little stagnation in the 1-year vision, going back into it could be what you need to kind of rev up your engine and help you to really activate that visualization. And then we'll open eyes and we'll do some journaling again. Go ahead and close your eyes again. Shake out your body, shake out your jaw. Even if what you were writing was amazing and you're full of energy, sometimes we store a little extra tension in our shoulders or our elbows or our wrists when we're writing, so kind of shake some of that out. Relax your eyes, relax into your body, feel the presence of where you are now. Feel yourself being held by your chair, by the earth. And we're bringing it closer, closer, closer. December 2026, we're bringing it so much closer. We're kind of wheeling back in time, but we know our target now. We just embodied this 1-year version of ourselves, really connected with him or her. We didn't just meet him or her, we became him or her. We got to see the day. We got to see a movie of the year. We got to experience the emotion, the embodiment. We got to see the bank account. We got to see the calendar. We got to see the schedule. And now, as you're thinking about just 12 weeks, such a short period of time, I want you to think about the next domino. You don't need 20 goals. You don't need a to-do list. We're high performers in this room. The last thing we need is just another checklist to do. You need the thing that will really move the needle for you. At most, you could have one goal in each of the domains. Master time and energy, thrive in health and vitality, awaken growth and spirit. What's coming up for you in each of these domains? Remember, they kind of build on each other. They stack to create the version of ourselves that we want to live in. Deepen relationships, align purpose and fulfillment, build intentional wealth, design life and habits, grow through community. What's coming up for you in just one quarter as you hear each of those domains of your life? Better yet, if you can start to distill it down in some combination of your mind and your heart, listen to the wisdom in both. They both bring us such goodness, such guidance. Is there one goal that could hit multiple domains? Even better if you could hit all of the domains with just a few actions. What's the one thing that shifts everything else? What do you need to begin now? What's the breakthrough habit or action or embodiment that will create disproportionate impact for you in all of the domains of your life? What needs to begin? What needs to be supported? What needs to be enhanced? What's the one needle moving action in just the first 12 weeks of 2026? And what's the soonest you could take action on it? Can you start to see the calendar in your mind's eye? And you see what you want to accomplish and what you want to create, and you can start to put a date to it. And maybe you get a little bit of that excitement and that momentum, and you're like, I'm not waiting till January 1st. I'm gonna make it happen before 2025 is out. We've talked a lot about identity this week. We rarely make decisions with information. We sometimes make decisions with emotion. We almost always make our decisions based on identity. Connect with your future self and answer the question, I am the person who. I am the person who. What comes up for you? In just 12 weeks, Q1 of 2026 is going to set the stage to get you to where you already saw yourself in December of 2026. You already know the end destination. These are the stepping stones. And you feel flow and ease and abundance, and the answers come to you quickly, and the resources come to you because you already know exactly where you're going to be in December of 2026. You've already seen the movie. It's already in the theaters. See the win and the wins, plural, that you will have in Q1 of 2026 and claim them and embody them right now. By the end of Q1 2026, I will have, or I will have done. I will have done. What's coming up for you? In these 8 domains in life, you're seeing yourself moving through January, through February, through March. You have this calm inner knowing because you've already seen December. And so you know the end of this part of the story, and you know that this is the unfolding. Kind of this mischievous joy that you know exactly what you're going to get and where you're going to go. And you're watching the story unfold. You see yourself. What are you doing? Who are you with? What's the day? What's the quarter? What are the emotions? All of those things that we covered in our year-long guided visualization. Feel those and embody those and create those. And then go ahead and open your eyes. And on 31 and 32, you'll see your action plan for each of the domains in life. And you'll see weekly rituals. That's something that I find is really helpful for people. If, let's say, you want to accomplish a certain health goal, what do you need to do every single week to make that happen? If you want to, like someone today sent me a publication that they got accepted. If you want to have a publication accepted by the end of Q1, what are the milestones? What are the rituals? How much do you need to write? Do you need to connect with an editor? When are you going to submit it? Those sorts of things. So weekly rituals can be helpful to break down that quarter into even smaller increments. And as you're writing this down, it does have a little bit of a different energy than that 1-year vision. That 1-year vision was really expansive, and I wanted you to capture everything you could in each of the domains. Here is our opportunity to practice constraint. Not because we can't do the things, but because we know as high performers, it's not just the 80-20, it's the 80-20 of the 80-20 of the 80-20. And we want to hone in this moment with our aligned selves. What are the few things that are going to move the needle for us in all of the domains of life? Any of us can come up with a list of 100 things to do, and they're probably worthy things on that list. But we want to hone it in of, if I could just pick one thing in each category, what would it be? And better yet, could I pick one thing that goes into multiple categories? And then can you win the lottery and put one thing that goes in all of the categories? A quarter is all about execution. Complexity kills execution. Clarity creates progress and momentum. So that's why we want to practice restraint here, so that in any given day we wake up, we know exactly what it is we need to do. We don't have to redecide. We don't have to recontemplate, renegotiate with ourselves, research, check in, analysis paralysis. We don't do any of that. We know the one thing that moves the needle, the one thing that's that first domino. And claim those wins from Q1 of 26. Claim the wins. Sometimes when I do this, I almost feel compelled to get out the calendar and start putting things in it. Maybe in future years, I'll include a calendar in the visioning workshops workbook as well. That'd be a good addition, I think. And more than anything, I want you to remember this feeling. Feel what your body feels like, your face, your shoulders, your torso, your hips. What does your heart feel like? How does your mind feel? Do you feel centered? Do you feel grounded? Do you feel present? Do you feel alive? Do you feel capable, encouraged, inspired, convicted, committed, clear? If you can create this in your visualization, you can create it in your reality whenever you want to. This is a skill set. This is a muscle. This is a habit that you build so that you can call upon this energy whenever you need it. As you're going through your day, as you're making your decisions, as you're planning out the next quarter, the rest of the year, you call upon this energy and this connection and this deep relationship that you have with your future self, and you get the wisdom here. Your future selves, this is like visioning 2.0 or 3.0, so hang with me if I sound a little crazy. I always joke I'm like the one psychiatrist in the world that's always telling people you should talk to yourself and have all these imaginary friends, and I sound insane, and I love it, and I think you guys love it too. This is like visioning 2.0. A little bonus. I wasn't expecting to include this tonight, but your future selves, right? This week you met quarter one future self, you met December 2026 future self, you met 3-year, you met 10-year. If you've been to some other visioning workshops, you've met 25-year or end of life. You can have a future self for anything you want, any time frame you want, and any domain that you want. So you can say, maybe tomorrow you have a big meeting at work, and you can say, I want to meet the future self of tomorrow who's handling that meeting. Maybe you're thinking about parenting, and you're thinking, maybe you have a little one at home, and you're thinking, I want to meet the future me 20 years from now that has a really good relationship with this child. What do I need to know from that version of myself? So anytime, any domain, and they become almost like a board of directors. How I see it in my mind is my present day self is kind of in the middle, and I'm like surrounded in a circle around myself. And you can even include younger versions of yourself too. It doesn't always have to be from the future. Your younger self often has a lot of wisdom. And it's almost as though you can kind of move around and see these future selves and younger selves and domain specific selves and say, what wisdom do you have for me? What can you offer to me? And because your future self and your younger self are you, they're like your best friends. They know you, they know all your inner workings. And yet particularly your future self, they have a little more wisdom. They don't let the limiting beliefs creep in as much. They're a little more expansive. They're a little more abundant. They can cut out a lot of the noise that we might bring into our lives in the present self. And it becomes like a board of directors. So you can be thinking about that as visioning. We'll call that visioning 3.0. Let's take another 60 seconds or so, capture whatever came up for you. Maybe you're flipping back and forth between the 1 year and the 12-week. Maybe you're really honing in on a specific domain or a specific goal or a specific win that you're claiming right now, and capture that. And just keep feeling the presence in your body and that gift of presence that you're giving yourself tonight. And take a couple more just cleansing breaths, and we're going to talk about commitment and clarity and conviction to these future selves, this Q1 2026 and this 1-year vision. And I want you to take in everything that you just wrote, and I want you to claim it. And I want you to feel that sense of victory, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of it is done. I know that it happened. I saw it happen. I created it in my mind, and I know I just need to go out and create it in reality, and feel that sense of joy, You don't have to wait until the thing happens. You can create the thing in your mind and pre-feel the joy and excuse me, and then use that joy to carry you forward. Feel that energy. That's an energy source that you can tap into when you need to. And then we need to be honest with ourselves. Love is discipline and honesty. And when we ask ourselves the truth, do you want to do this alone? Can you do this alone? Will you? Will you have the conviction, the clarity, the commitment? Maybe. What about through the holidays, the chaos, the end of the year, the emotional dips, the time sucks, the competing demands, right? We all have so many things going on in our lives. I don't want you to set this vision down and then before you know it, it's like April and you find it in a pile of papers and you're like, oh yeah, that night I felt so connected to myself. I felt so sure of it. It felt so possible for me. And then the holidays came and then this little crisis at work and then maybe I got a cold and then this happened and now it's April and I'm just now picking up that paper. Every single person who has joined Freedom and Legacy has joined because at some point they said, I don't want that anymore. I don't want to go it alone. I don't want to white knuckle it. I know how connected to this future self I feel, and I want to feel this every day. I want to be a part of a community where I can talk about my future self. I can connect to it. I can be with others who speak this language, who are walking this path. I can be coached around this. You don't have to be the strong one all the time. You don't have to go it alone. You can have community and support and structure. All of that is critical, and that's why I created this program. Is people would ask me over the years, I want to do coaching with you, and you do these future self visualizations and you have these accomplishments and you have this ease and this flow in life. And I just instinctually knew that it had to be done in community. And we're many years in to Freedom and Legacy now. And there's just so much goodness in that. If you've enjoyed Visioning Week, you can have this every single day of the year. You can have this every single week in our group coaching calls. You can have this in our in-person events. It doesn't have to stop with Visioning Week. I want to talk straightforwardly because I believe that clarity is love. I believe that love is discipline and truth and clarity. If you're feeling pulled into this work and there's this sense of knowing for you of, I want to keep going. I want to do everything in my power to commit to my future self, my December 26th version, 3-year version, 10-year version, even more expansive than that. I want to do these expansive vision that Elaine talks about when we talk about end of life vision and not just what we've accomplished, but how we've made people feel. I invite you into Freedom and Legacy if that feels like it's the next step for you. Enrollment is open. The investment for the full year is $15,000. We start with 2 complimentary calls in December, and then we start with our weekly calls in January. And if a payment plan would be helpful for you, we have a 4-payment plan of $39.99. Both of those versions include full participation of your spouse or partner, and both of those versions also have 30 hours of Category 1 AMA, CME, and then also there's continuing education for things like nurses, psychologists, other professionals. You can find that on the website. And I'll offer to you that people don't join Freedom and Legacy because they just have a bunch of white space on their calendar. They have a lot of extra time. They feel like they have extra money laying around. They join because they have a sense of knowing that they want more out of life. They want more abundance, more expansion. They're done sort of having that stagnant feeling of feeling like the years are just kind of slipping by, and they've felt this connection to the future self, and they say, I want an acceleration toward that. I want to do everything in my power to move me toward that in a community, in a container. And that's your future self nudging you now. I want to take just a few minutes. It won't take long. And I think you'll get a lot of benefit out of hearing about the features that we have in Freedom and Legacy and the support and the structure that we put together to create this expansion in life. So let me take just a minute and share that. The main thing in our structure in Freedom and Legacy is we meet every week. We have a coaching call every week. We do teaching. We do what I call open frame coaching, where people raise their hand and they're coached on whatever it is that's coming up for them. Each week is a little bit different, but they're all around the theming that you've seen show up in Visioning Week. We do the inner work. We do the practical work. When I created Freedom and Legacy, it was really important to me that Freedom and Legacy be tactical, that we talk about passive income and real estate and investing and finances and leadership and communication, but also that we do the inner work, that we talk about relationships and identity and communication patterns and including the important people in our lives and our emotional home and how we carry ourselves in the world and things like meditation practices and all of those different domains in life. I like to think of it as the practical work and the inner work. We have a whole very extensive vault inside of the Kajabi platform with hundreds of videos, worksheets, guided mini courses on all the different domains in life, you name it. We have 2 real estate courses. We have something called the Body Set program that really focuses on the somatic experience and nervous system regulation. All of the domains in life show up in that. You can kind of think of that as like an encyclopedia to work through. You can work through it at your own pace in whatever areas of life you want particular growth in. And then I also call upon it during our weekly teachings as well. I bring in world-class guest coaches, truly just amazing souls. I'm always just so delighted when they agree to come coach in Freedom and Legacy. And then by coming into Freedom and Legacy after it's existed for several years, you also get the benefit of the entire vault of all of the recordings of the guest coaches that we've had over many years. We have real estate weeks where we specifically focus on real estate investing for that week. We have a really immersive relationship week that focuses on first our relationship with ourselves, and then relationships with others, talks about our intimate relationship. People just rave about that week. As I've mentioned before, spouse or partner participation is included, and there's a whole range, a spectrum of involvement there. We have people that have been in the program since the very beginning and their spouses aren't really involved much at all. We have people who both partners are coming every single week. But what I find is in that relationship week, most spouses or partners come for that week and really find a transformative effect in the relationship in just that one week. We do monthly net worth coaching where you're looking at your income, your expenses, and your balance sheet every single month, going through tactics, answering questions, personalizing it to you. I'm a big believer that we can only manage what we first measure. And so we're measuring it every single month, not only so that we can manage it, but so that we can bring down any of the emotional reactions that we might have. So much of money is actually emotions. I've shared earlier in the week that we can't create abundance in the financial part of our life if we're living in a scarcity mindset. And sometimes we bring that into money because of our parents or our upbringing or maybe early life experiences where we had less money, or even if we're experiencing some scarcity right now. And by talking about money every single month, we bring down the emotions around that. And it becomes something that we have control and agency and power over. We do quarterly wisdom circles where you'll get into a group with about 3 or 4 other people and you'll share whatever it is that's on your mind. And then the people with you will share back their wisdom. Those are universally some of the best calls of the year because you never know what might show up. There's so much goodness and wisdom and grace and just love in this group. And what I find is that when people go into those quarterly wisdom circles, they really deepen their relationships and then they cheer each other on and hold each other accountable through that quarter about whatever it was that came up. We do something called blueprints, which are member-led sessions. There's so much wisdom in the group. Our members will come in as guest coaches and share about how they're leading their practices or how they've delegated things out to a VA or what they're doing in their real estate investing. You name it, members have come in to do the blueprint session. We're pretty committed, close group. We have a WhatsApp chat with multiple threads. There's a health thread and a parenting thread and an investing thread, a practice thread. I mean, you name it, there's a thread for everything. And people are pretty active on there, just checking in with each other on a daily basis. There's real friendships inside of Freedom and Legacy, which is something that I'm just so overjoyed to see because I really believe that growth is a community experience. We put all of our recordings out the next day. We put them both in Kajabi and in a private podcast, so it's a little bit easier to listen to in the podcast. As part of your membership in Freedom and Legacy, you get 4 tickets to Black Swan Real Estate's Real Estate Real Life annual event, which is September 17th through the 20th. That alone is thousands of dollars of value. You get 2 in-person tickets and 2 virtual tickets. You can come in person if you're able to, share those virtual tickets, or vice versa if that's what your schedule needs. I'm also working on getting that event accredited for CME. So because those tickets are included in your membership, you would get the 30 hours of CME that's included in Freedom and Legacy. And then I'm working to get another 6 hours of CME approved for our Real Estate Real Life event. And then once a year, we also have a Freedom and Legacy exclusive event. That's an additional ticketed event. I'm working with the location right now, so I can't share that because I don't have a contract quite yet, but I've shared it with Rachel. She's excited. I've shared it with a few of my members in Freedom and Legacy, and they're like, yes, Elaine, like, this is going to be amazing. You're on the right track. That's tentatively scheduled for early November of 26. And as soon as we have that information, we'll release that so that you can block your calendar and join us. And then you've already heard from so many of the amazing members in Freedom and Legacy this week in the things that they're sharing in the chats and the things that they're sharing in the Facebook group. And I want to share 2 more. This one comes from Meredith Scher. I have never encountered smarter, more compassionate, and more inspiring people than in the Freedom and Legacy Blueprint community. Elaine helps us to see the power within ourselves. And Laura Hayes says, Freedom and Legacy has been life-changing for me. I now have a clear, compelling vision for my future and the skills to bring that vision to reality. Since joining the program, I've experienced incredible growth in my health, relationships, career, and finances. The community feels like family. I'm so happy I decided to join. We got approved this year in partnership with Pinnacle for 30 hours of AMA Category 1 CME. So that's a built-in additional feature for Freedom and Legacy to help support your professional growth while you're supporting your personal growth as well. Every person I have coached in Freedom and Legacy has had to make the same decision that maybe you're contemplating right now, or has had the same moment that you're having. Is it okay for me to invest in myself? Is it okay for me to commit this investment, to commit this time? And I'll tell you, there's a reason why we have an 88% renewal rate. It's because people find the value in it. That's why they come back year after year. That's why it becomes a family. That's why it becomes a lifestyle, is because they see the change, right? They see the acceleration toward their goals that they want in all of the domains in life. And the thing that I'll offer to you is that if you don't invest in yourself, who will? If you don't commit to yourself, who will? If you don't own your own expansion, who will? This is my invitation to you. This might be your future self's invitation to you, nudging you and saying, something brought you into Visioning Week. Maybe you've known about me for years and you finally said, what is that happens over there? Maybe you were invited by a friend, or however it is that you ended up here this week. Something happened to get this in connection with your future self. And as you're thinking about, could Freedom and Legacy be the next step for you? Is Freedom and Legacy the next step for you? I welcome you in. Enrollment hasn't been open in a year, and I'm excited to bring in our 2026 cohort. This is often a moment where people will shrink. They'll go back into the old identity. They'll go back into limiting beliefs. They'll go back into, I'm not sure that's possible for me, or I'm not sure that I belong. And I welcome all of that. That's a human experience. We all have those thoughts. And yet I also offer to you to connect to the future self that you've been with this whole week. Your 10-year version, your 3-year version, the version of you from 2026, the version of you from just a quarter from now, and connect to that expansion and know that you are worthy of investing in, whether it's Freedom and Legacy or it's something else. You are worthy of time and investment and commitment and conviction to creating your future self. And if you think that me and the members of Freedom and Legacy and the coaching and the structure and the support that we've created there could be the next step for you, I can't tell you how much I would love to have you. It has just been so fun to see the names of people that have joined this week and seeing the energy in the group that's coming together for 2026. As my gift to you for joining this evening, if you feel so moved, we're going to offer the fast action bonuses again. So that would get you one-on-one call with me, redeemable anytime you want in 2026. We can do it the first week of the year. If you want to start strong, you can save it for whenever you might have a need that comes up in 2026, whatever works for you. It's just you and me together talking about whatever it is that's coming up for you. And then I'll also create a personalized guided visualization where I will ask you what it is that you want. I can connect you to your future self, a specific domain, a part of your identity that you want to create and expand. Whatever it is that's on your heart, I'll do an interview of you, we'll work through that, and then I'll record that visualization and send that to you. That'll be available for anyone who enrolls this evening before midnight Central. All of this is at Freedom and Legacy Blueprint MD, no MD, freedomandlegacyblueprint.com, freedomandlegacyblueprint.com. There's the pay in full discount, there's the monthly payment plan, however it is that works for you. I think Rachel's going to get an email out to you about the fast action bonuses this evening. And I just invite you that if your vision tonight felt like the truth, if you felt like there was a connection and you feel like this could be part of your next step, that you're feeling a calling or a nudging toward this, whatever it is that came up for you. Remember, visions are so personalized. They're so custom to you. I want for you whatever came up for you in your vision, whatever came up for you in your quarterly planning, that's the doorway. If Freedom and Legacy is the next step for you, if this is your sign, step into this container with us, step into this coaching, this community, and become the person that your future self is asking for. We're excited to meet you. We want to have you join us in Freedom and Legacy. If your heart's saying yes, honor it. I'll be there. I'm excited to welcome you there. I can't wait to spend this year with you. I'm going to turn it over to Rachel. She has a couple of announcements about our Saturday coaching call, the replays, a couple other things. So stick around for just about 2 more minutes. Rachel has a couple of announcements. I look forward to seeing so many of you who join us in Freedom and Legacy, and I'd love to give as many of you as possible that fast action bonus this evening if you sign up before midnight Central, and then I will see you on Saturday for our implementation coaching. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy the joy of having been in relationship with your future self tonight. I find when I come off of one-year visions, I feel this sense of joy, but also calm and centeredness. And I'm hoping you feel that and you feel a little conviction and momentum toward your quarterly planning as well. It's been a joy being with you guys tonight. I have just loved Visioning Week, and I look forward to Saturday. Here's Rachel.
Thank you, Elaine. Oh, you just capture that so beautifully. This last night of visioning, really getting into the 1-year vision after dreaming so big with the 10-year and the 3-year earlier this week. It's just so powerful. So I hope that you're all feeling that and feeling some clarity and some guidance for your next 12 weeks and your next year and whatever time frame moving forward. So thank you, Elaine. And thank you everyone who's here. It's so meaningful that you choose to spend this time here. And just like Elaine said, you are worthy of being here. So thank you for spending your time with me and with Elaine for hours on end all week this week. But most importantly, thank you for showing up for yourself. This is really important work to do. So acknowledge that you've showed up for yourself, you've leaned in, you've dreamed of that dream life, that future version of yourself that you know that you can get to. And that's not work that everyone is willing to do. And you've showed up again and again. So thank you. Give yourself some grace, a hug, a high five, whatever it is. And I just wanted to say one more time, if you're feeling that pull, if you're here, if you're seeing what these other people have achieved, like Dr. Aditi and Whaley last night, if you're feeling any kind of nudge, we would love to welcome you into Freedom and Legacy Blueprint to continue that work all year long. It's not a random nudge. Like I said, not everybody is willing to do this work. Not everybody has the insight or the drive or the vision or the dream for something more. So We encourage you to continue to show up for yourself, and we would love to do that with you within Freedom and Legacy Blueprint MD. Like Elaine said, we're offering that fast action bonus once more tonight, so we'll offer that till midnight Central, just a few hours. You'll get a bonus one-on-one call with Elaine in 2026. You'll also get a personalized guided visualization. If you have any questions at all about what that community is like, what it's like to feel support, what the coaching is like, I encourage you to reach out to Elaine or to myself. Um, it's just such a beautiful community. It's really hard to put it into words just how meaningful it is. You see all the smiles in the photos. I can just feel it through the screen. So if you're here and you're feeling called to that, we would love to welcome you. freedomandlegacyblueprint.com. Fast action bonuses go through tonight. The link is in chat. We'll put it in the replay. We'll put it in all of the places. And then Saturday, for the first time in the visioning workshops, we're going to do another really special, beautiful kind of session. I hope to see you live. This is a different time. We're not usually live on the weekends, but 11 a.m. Central on Saturday, Elaine is going to do implementation coaching. So you've already taken that 10-year vision to a 3-year vision, to a 1-year, to a 12-week. Maybe even you're thinking about the next 2 weeks of your life from tonight. Maybe you're thinking about the thing that you're going to do tomorrow. That's what we're going to do together on Saturday, is we're going to talk about how to make this vision your reality. Elaine is going to coach you through how to implement that vision in your life so that you bring that to life. I hope to see you there. As always, we'll send the reminders, we'll send the replays. We would love to welcome you into Freedom and Legacy Blueprint, so please do ask questions if you have them. If you're feeling a nudge, now is the time to make that move. And thank you for being here, guys. This has been such an amazing night. Have a great rest of your evening. Get some rest, and we'll see you soon. Bye.